Good morning. Good morning. My name is Kimberly Bishop. I'm Associate State Director at AARP Michigan, and I'm glad you chose to spend some time with us this morning for our July Rhythm Circle. I'm always surprised by the location of our viewers, so if you don't mind, please say hi in the comments section and let us know where you're watching. Before we get started, I do need to acknowledge that we had a little snafu last month and everyone did not get the registration link. I was assured that that issue is resolved for this month, so I do apologize and I'm glad to see you here today. As you know, these monthly rhythm sessions are a way for us to have fun with purpose. The music is the fun, and learning about brain health is the purpose. July is National Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. So I'd like to share how music can improve mental health. According to the National Alliance on Mental Health, music, specifically music therapy, has been shown to benefit various mental health conditions, including depression, trauma, and schizophrenia. It acts as a medium to processing emotions, trauma, and grief, and can also be utilized as a regulating or calming agent for anxiety. In fact, improvisational music playing, which is what we'll be doing shortly, is one of the four major interventions in music therapy. Playing instruments can encourage emotional expression, socialization, and exploration of various therapeutic themes like conflict, communication, grief. For example, you can create a storm by playing drums, rain sticks, and thunder tubes, and other percussive instruments. You can note areas of escalation and de-escalation, and then correlate those in the highs and lows of the storms of feelings you may have. And if that's not enough, the 2020 AARP Music and Brain Health Survey found that listening to music had a small positive impact on mental well-being, depression, and anxiety. A few tips from the report include: explore technology that can enable you to listen to music across multiple devices, such as your phone or television. Try music apps such as Spotify or Pandora that will suggest new music you might enjoy based on algorithms identifying music similar to your current selections. Enjoy listening to familiar music that comforts you and evokes positive memories and associations. If you're unhappy, try listening to or making music to improve your mood or relieve feelings of depression. Dance, sing, or move to music. These activities not only provide physical exercise, but they can also relieve stress and build social connection, and they're fun ways to stimulate your brain. While listening to music that you know and like causes the strongest brain response and dopamine release, try listening to new music. Unfamiliar melodies may stimulate your brain while providing a new source of pleasure as you get used to hearing them. And make music yourself. Music making includes singing and playing an instrument. Learning to play a musical instrument can offer a sense of mastery and self-esteem while enhancing brain activity. So that's my cue to introduce Kevin Bujo Jones, our resident percussionist. In fact, he is a percussionist, band leader, producer, and educator. He's a faculty member with MSU Percussion and Jazz Studies and serves on the board for the West Michigan Music Society. Kevin is accompanied by his lovely wife, Martine, who is also a musician. Martine is not a drummer. She's a gifted flautist, and we appreciate her joining us again this morning. So once again, I'd like to welcome Kevin Bujo Jones and his lovely wife, Martine. Kevin, take it away.
Thank you so much, Kim. Good morning, everybody from Michigan. We are in the midst of summer. I hope everyone is enjoying the weather, the warm weather, and wherever you are, hopefully it's not too warm where you are, because I know that some of you are having a heat wave. Not here in Michigan, no. I guess that's fortunate. Anyway, I'd like to thank Kim for having me having us once more, I should say, myself and my beautiful wife, Martine. Martine was not a flautist. She is a violinist, although I'm trying to get her to pick up the violin again and play more often. But the main thing is that she's not a trained percussionist. She is pretty much a novice. So just like you out there in social media land, she's sort of new, okay? So like every month that we start this, we want to talk about things that you have around the house if you don't have a drum. Now there's different drums that you can use, like even if you have a small little Jimbei like this, you can use that. Or if you don't have a hand drum of some kind, like a conga drum, this is a conga drum. I don't know if you could see it. If you don't have a conga or a Jimbei like we have, you can use something around the house. This is my trusty coffee mate container. You can at least get two sounds out of it. So you can grab something. I'll give you time before we start to grab something from around the house. Or if you don't feel like drumming, you can use something like a canister. This is some sea salt. Very
Sea saltish.
very sea saltish. You can use it as a shaker. Right? So you can use whatever you have. If not, you can just drum on the table. So like every month, for those of you that do have an actual drum, a Jimbei or a conga, I just want to go over the basic sounds of the drum. And those sounds are tone, bass, and slap. So sort of difficult. So the tone sound, you want to put your hand flat on the drum like this with your thumb out. So flat, and the energy, the focus of your energy should be in here when you strike the drum, from your knuckle, this part, all the way to the pad of your hand, pads. So you want to just come down. You don't want to put your fingers too close together, but just slightly close together, slightly open, and come down on the drum like so. Now try the other hand. Good. Okay. So that is the tone sound. The bass sound. You put your hand more in the middle of the drum. You don't have to go all the way over like this. You can just put the palm and all your fingers towards the middle of the drum, and it makes a sound like this. Very good. 1, 2, 3, and stop. Very good. Okay, so tone and bass. Those are the first two. The last one is a slap sound. And this one is a little bit more difficult to produce a sound out of the drum. You want to, when you come down on the drum, you want to come down. Actually, this part of your hand is going to kind of hit first. And then you let your fingertips, the focus of your energy is your fingertips, the last digit of your finger. That's where the focus is. So you want to come down almost like a whip, like that. Want to try? Spread your fingers out a little bit more. Very good. Okay. So today we're going to go back and learn. We're going to try to go through two different rhythms today. Many months ago, we did we learned a rhythm called Cuckoo. Now, Cuckoo is a rhythm from Guinea, West Africa, Guinea, Mali region. It was Guinea and Mali were actually, and the surrounding areas of what they now call countries was called the Mali Empire, which included parts of Senegal and parts of Liberia. It included a vast area of West Africa. So anyway, Cuckoo is a rhythm from that region, and pretty easy. And then we learned this rhythm. I don't know. It must have been we haven't done this in about 4 or 5 months, 6 months. Yeah. So anyway, so very easy. So it includes all three sounds of the drum. So if you can't do a slap, don't worry about it. Just play a tone. So you're going to start out. I'm right-handed, so you can start either side. It doesn't matter. I'm going to start it out with my right hand. So I'm going to play a slap sound. For those of you that can't play a slap, don't worry about it. You can play a tone. Okay? So we're going to play a slap first. Right. Okay. Next sound, I'm playing with my left hand. I'm going to play a bass. Right. Okay, so we have slap, bass. So it's going to sound like this. Try that. Right. So when you play, always try to leave your hands above the head of the drum, so you don't have to come back. So like, and do that, right? No. Okay. Okay. So let's do it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slap, bass. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slap, bass. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slap, bass. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slap, bass. Very good. Now we're going to play two tone sounds, but the sounds are closer together, like this. Tone, tone. Try that. So all 4 sounds together in sequence. So it's going to sound like this. Okay? Slap, bass, drum, drum. Slap, bass, drum, drum. Slap, bass, drum, drum. Uh-huh. Little faster. All right. So, important thing. Can you hand me a stick over here?
Just one?
Yeah.
Both.
Just one for now. So, in music, we have what we call pulse, or where the downbeat falls. So that's the pulse. The slap sound does not fall. It falls right before the first beat or the first downbeat, what we call a pickup. So if this is the pulse, right? So slap bass. Slap bass, tom tom, slap bass, tom tom, slap bass, tom tom, slap bass, tom tom. So we're going to go a little bit slower. Now, in previous months, we also talked a little bit about in African drumming. A lot of times there, we have what we call a signal or a break or a call. That's to indicate time to start, or especially for the dancers, it's when you're playing this music is very specific to certain dances. So not only is Cuckoo a rhythm, it's also a dance. They go together. It's not something separate. Like the dance is separate from the drumming. Okay, so to start with, so we're going to learn the break, and then we're going to learn how to come in. Okay, so the signal or break sounds like this. Okay. Okay, so okay, do it slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's the signal. A lot of times, though, the traditional signal is okay. So just to make it a little bit easier, we'll use a simpler one, okay, which is okay. So I want you guys out there to repeat after me. Okay, we're going to practice the signal. Okay, so repeat after me. Very good. Excellent job. So what we're going to do is we're going to start the rhythm with the signal and end with the signal. Okay? So we're going to go go, 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 go. Etc. etc. Okay? Go, go, do, go, go, do, go, go, da, boom, kicking, da, boom, kicking. Okay? Here we go. One, I'll count it in. Normally we don't count. We just play the signal and start. But for our purposes, so everybody can be together, I'm gonna count. Okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, signal. Yes. Slap bass drum. Slap bass drum. Slap bass drum. So did everybody get that? If you don't understand, put it in the chat and say, can you do that again? Or I don't understand. Can you explain some more? Okay. Okay. All right. How did you do with the rhythms? It's a lot in a little bit of time. So I know it's very, very difficult for some of you. But if you counting is a very important part of music. If you notice how many, okay, I'm going to ask you guys a question. How many notes are in the rhythm itself? Right? You know? I'm not answering. Why not? I know. Oh, yeah. You don't want to give it away? All right. We'll see. Let's see. How many notes are in the rhythm? All right. Do dee dee do do dee do do dee do do dee do 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 dee dee do do dee do did 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 did. Okay, so if you guessed 4, you're absolutely right. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 4, yeah, all right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now next question for you guys. How many notes are in the signal? Ooh, or the break? How many notes are in the signal? So the signal, again, I'll play it real slow so you can count it out. Okay? Okay? So I'm actually starting that signal. No. Close. Getting close. Gene said 6. Dale said 7. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes! Who got it? Gene. Yay, Gene. Okay. So I actually started out with, this is actually counted as one note, but for the more professional players, when we're playing, you know, it's usually started out with what we call in drumming a flam, which is almost playing the same notes almost exactly at the same time. So, but I didn't want to confuse you guys, so it's still counted as one note.
I was wondering if anybody was going to count this too.
Yeah, really? Say 9?
Yeah.
No, it's always, a flam is always counted as one note.
No.
So Dale got 8, Gene got 8. All right. So people are paying attention. I love that. I love it. I love it. So that is only one part of Cuckoo. One part of Cuckoo. So in African diaspora drumming from the African diaspora, meaning from West Africa, East Africa, Central Africa, Congo, Guinea, Mali, Ivory Coast, you know, like all of these places are included in the African diaspora, but also Cuba, Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Haiti, and of course, United States too, is part of African diaspora. Believe it, you know, it's included. Colombia, you know, Ecuador, part of African diaspora. Brazil, definitely. So anyway, when we talk about drumming from that diaspora, we have the rhythms are not, everybody's not playing the same thing all the time. So you have these layers of rhythms that go with inside of the rhythm, what we call polyrhythms. So it means polyrhythm, meaning many rhythms going on at the same time. So we're going to demonstrate that today. So I'm going to play one rhythm, and my beautiful wife, Martine, is going to play another rhythm.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Are you ready? So the second rhythm for Cuckoo. All right? Now, the second rhythm is basic. It's pretty easy. It's not too hard. So I want you to start out. We're going to start out with 2 bass sounds. So it's going to sound like this. Bass, bass. So everybody try that. Right. Repeat after me. Bass, bass. 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 Okay? First part of the rhythm. Then we're going to play. And then 2 more tones. So it's going to sound like this. Bass, bass, tone, 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 tone. So, bass, bass, tone, 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 tone. Bass, bass. Bass, bass, tone, 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 tone. Tone, 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 tone. Bass, bass, tone, 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 tone. Bass, bass, tone, 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 tone. A little faster. Bass, bass. Tone, 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 tone. Bass, bass. Tone, 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 tone. sounding good. Doesn't she sound great? Everybody, give Martine a big round of applause. She's getting good at doing this. So just to, so that's where the pulse is. Bass, bass. So now we're going to start it out with the signal, play the rhythm. This is the second part to Cuckoo, and then end with the signal. Okay? Applause coming in from Martine. I applaud her every day. And okay, I'm not going to preach.
Oh, go on. No.
If you have a spouse, you have to treat your spouse like they're golden, because they are.
Oh.
My spouse, my wife, is golden. So that's all I have to say. Okay, we're getting off track here. Okay, so start out with the signal and then the second part. Okay, so we're gonna go a little slow right now, and then we'll play the rhythm, end it with the signal. Okay. 1, 2, 3, signal. And bass.
You didn't tell me what we were going to do.
The second part.
Oh, okay.
The part we just learned.
Okay.
1, 2.
I
Ready?
didn't know if it was first or second.
Okay, well, we'll do that. We're coming to that.
All right.
Second part. One, excuse me. 1, 2, ready, signal. Bass, 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 bass. Right. Bass, bass, dum, 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 dum. Bass, bass, dum, dum, dum. Bass, bass, dum, dum, dum. Bass, bass. That's okay. Bass, bass. Okay, here we go. 1, 2. Okay, now this is the tricky part. Whatever part you feel comfortable with, I want you to play that part. So, what part do you feel comfortable with? This one? Okay, so you're gonna play slap, bass, tempo, slap. So Martine is gonna play the first part, and I'll play the second part. So we'll see how that sounds. All right. So we may not get it the first time, but we'll do and try it. Okay. So we'll start with the signal, and then we'll play. Martine will play the first part. I'll play the second part. Okay. First part is. Okay, so that's the first part. Second part. Right? Okay. All right. Get notifications on my screen. Okay, so are you ready? All right, we'll start with the signal, and each of you play whatever part you feel comfortable with. So you're going to hear the dialogue in between the parts, so they kind of answer each other. Okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, signal. Very good. Yes. Excellent job. Excellent job. So, okay. Oh, 5 minutes. We only have 5 minutes left. Okay, so there's something important I need to say. I guess we're not going to get to that second rhythm today. So, cuckoo, any other rhythm, sinte, cuckoo, dundumba, whatever rhythm that we play, the Jimbei part doesn't necessarily dictate the rhythm. In Jimbei drumming, we have what we call a set of drums called the dundum. So in the we call it Jimbei orchestra. So this one went down, but it's supposed to be the highest drum called the kankani. The next highest drum is called the sangban. Excuse me. Sorry, I showed my.
You showed your sangban.
I showed my sangban. Next highest drum, right? So, and then the other one is the. Okay, just so. Don't try to lift it. Don't try to lift it now. So it's called the dun, or what we classify as dun or dunumba. So there's a set of 3, and the drums create a melody with inside of with inside of the rhythm. Okay, thank you. So I'll just use these for now. Can you play these? Okay. So this is, I'm going to show her this specific part, a simplistic part, I should say, for the doom. We're just going to, because we don't have much time. So on the high drum, you're going to play. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. Right? So that's the simple part. So try to play that. Right. Right. Multi-instrumentalist, multifaceted, and she's beautiful on top of that. Okay, so there's a couple of questions. I'm gonna see if I can answer them from Jean. Do players usually stay with one part, or do they change and play first and then switch to the second part to play both? So, Jean, you are actually very correct. It depends on the situation. So normally there may be 2 or 3 Jimbei players, maybe 4, maybe 5. But most of the time, there is, inside of the Jimbei orchestra, there's a lead drummer that plays, or they share the lead responsibility playing, marking the dancer, marking the dances, and sort of have a little solo parts in between. But mainly, the lead drummer's responsibility is to mark the dance. So a lot of times, say if I'm playing with some, Martine and I are playing with some other drummers, and I'm playing the lead part, and then she's playing accompaniment part, then and I stop playing lead and she plays lead, I'll take her part. Or depending on the situation, you may need to switch a part depending on the situation. You may need, maybe 2 people playing this part. You may need 2 people playing that part. So there's other parts to Cuckoo, which we'll learn next month, okay? And the next question is from, can you demonstrate, is from Jan. Can you demonstrate how exactly to hold the djembe with your legs? Okay, so, you just want to see my legs. See my legs. They're nice and brown. Okay. All right, and skinny legs and all. Okay, so when you play the djembe, you shouldn't hold the djembe with the head towards you. There's a very different sound. And you also shouldn't just play the djembe with it flat on the ground. It has a different sound. You cannot get the rich tones that come out of the drum if you just leave it flat.
There's nowhere to go.
Right. So you tilt the drum forward and put it between I put it between my knees. Some people, they have shorter arms, so the djembe is closer to their torso. But I like to put it just about here because my arms are pretty long. And so I have about 6 or 7 inches between my torso and the head of the drum, but I tilt it forward because that gives you the natural length of your arm. You know, your arm is sort of parallel with the head of the skin, the head of the drum. Okay, so you hold it between your knees. You can keep your knees. Some people cross their legs like this. It's more comfortable. So I hope that answers your question. And then, where is a good place to buy a drum? Best one to start with. So the djembe is very, very popular now, more so than it was 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Now it's very easy to find a djembe. I can give you the names of places to buy djembes, authentic djembes from Guinea and Mali, sometimes Senegal, depending on where you live. They do have djembes at the Guitar Center, but I don't really recommend, some of the drums that they have there because, for me, having a traditional djembe is important because you have to learn how to tune the drum, and that's part of being a drummer. So, this drum I bought without a head on it, and my teacher helped me rope this djembe. Well, I got this djembe maybe about 17 years ago, 16, 17 years ago. And it progressively got, I progressively made changes to it. And I put a lot of money in this drum. It's a very heavy drum. It's very big. It's very heavy, but it has an enormous sound to it. I went with my teacher to pick it out. So I can put some names of places that you can buy djembes from. But if you're just starting out, you can go to Guitar Center or someplace like that, or Sam Ash, but I wouldn't recommend ordering a djembe online unless it's from a reputable place. So it depends on where you're from, whether you want to get it shipped to you and all of that. But personally, I feel like, you have to go and pick out a drum that speaks to you, speaks to your soul, speaks to your spirit. But if you just want to start, you can get a djembe because there's many companies, percussion companies like Toka and Gombap and Mino and LP that make djembes, and they're decent, they're okay. A lot of times I think they overcharge, but just depends on where you're at. So I don't have any. Okay, so from Andrell, I don't have any questions, but I enjoyed the presentation. Oh, another Jones. All right, Jones. All right, so we have run overtime. What I want to say is that since we only meet once a month, what I want to encourage you to do is just to drum. Even if you don't remember all the patterns, you can come back and watch the video because it's in the archives on Facebook. But you can also just take your drum out, turn the music up loud, and drum to some music, the music that you like. You know, I started out actually drumming to popular music because whatever had I actually didn't start out on Jimbei, and I'm actually more of a conga player because I play congas, and I started a long time ago. And at that particular time, the music that was on the radio was the music of, you know, like Motown and, you know, Donny Hathaway and Curtis Mayfield, and, you know, that had conga drums in it, Santana, you know, and I used to try to mimic what they were playing on those records. So, you know, just so you could get in the groove, listen to some music, turn it on and drum, even if it's not exactly what they're playing on the record. You know, try to mimic what they do. And practice. Try to practice your tones, your bass, and your slap. You know, so you can develop your skill a little bit further. The more you do it, the better you feel, and the more you'll progress. I know many of you are probably not, or most of you are probably not, don't have aspirations to become a professional percussionist like me, but you know, it's really a good healing property. I played almost every night this week after returning. My wife and I returning from vacation, and I immediately had to jump into working and playing some music, studying, practicing, and I feel good. My bones are tired, but I feel good. I feel good about what I do. I feel good about myself. It builds self-esteem. It builds confidence, and it creates these endorphins. It stimulates your endorphins too. And if you don't have a drum on the table. And if you don't like drumming, dance. Drum and dance are like the same thing. You know, they go together. So yeah. So anyway, I'd like to thank you for tuning in. We're way over time, but I hope you enjoy the rest of your summer. Well, not the rest of your summer. We're gonna meet in August, some kind of way. So August 20th at 10 o'clock. So put it on your calendar now. Tell your friends, tell your family. You know, I encourage, you know, young people too. If you have kids, even toddlers, to try to join in to drum. When you count, and you have to remember, this also stimulates brain activity. It really helps you with brain activity. You know, it helps you concentrate. Your concentration has to be there. So, you know, so many things, but we can talk about, you know, brain health a little bit more. I'll go into how I process these kind of things and kind of my story with brain injury, etc. Maybe next month. Okay. So we'll see everybody August 20th at 10 a.m. Okay. So for now, we will see you later. See you. Thank you so much for tuning in.